Hey, what's going on? This is Student Time Media, and I am coming to you guys with a pretty important video. Now, I know this isn't gaming, this isn't anything else, this isn't what I usually put up, but this is important because a lot of people have been paying attention to, obviously, the draft for the NBA and upcoming trades and stuff, and there's the Derrick Rose to New York, which, might I add to start, I don't think it's as bad as Derrick Rose and Chicago Bulls fans think it is, but, I'm coming out here with my own issues. So, I am talking about tonight's draft trade between our number 11th pick, Ersan Ilyasova, and of course Victor Oladipo for Ibaka. Now, here's what I got. When I first saw this happen, I was immediately brought to myself, okay, so I obviously am looking at one of our best assets traded for a player who has taken a step down. So immediately I went on social media, went on comments of certain websites and things like that, and tried to kind of dissect what people were saying. And a lot of people said this was an awful trade and Rob Hennigan completely screwed up, and basically Orlando is going to be forever in ruins because of this. I wanted to put my own thoughts on this and my own twist. First of all, where Orlando was last year, we won 37 games. 37. We won 37 games as a franchise, and we were starting to come into place. We needed to find a way to kind of pick up a star this year. Now, if you look at Oladipo, a lot of people hated the idea of trading away Oladipo, and yes, he's great. He has tremendous athleticism. In my opinion, top 5 shooting guard defensively in the league. But here is the caveat. He, in terms of talent, skills, and potential, is pretty much completely capped out at where he is now. He might be able to become slightly better of a shooter. He's obviously going to be able to get more experience over time, but he's not getting much better, and he will never be able to be a number 1 scoring option on any decent team. So, over the last 3 seasons, he's averaged 16 points per game, somewhere around there for his career. And it's just, when he scored the previous year 18 points per game, he was pushing it. Now this year he did pretty good, but also you got to realize Orlando Magic has a lot of shooting guards, and he wasn't living up to his potential offensively, and defensively he's great, but like I said, Evan Fournier and Mario Hezonja both can play the two and are both tremendous shooters for their positions, and not to mention they have a wealth of potential in their offensive game. And as well as, if you think about it, Evan Fournier was one of the best defenders on our team last year as well, perimeter wise. So yes, we did lose Oladipo, but an argument can be made that Evan Fournier is actually better than Oladipo, which, is going to jump on a lot of people's backs, and a lot of people are going to be angry about that. But personally, I enjoyed the idea of Fournier more than Oladipo because he's a better scorer, he's longer, and I think, in my opinion, he's probably more laterally inclined in terms of his quickness. He did drop off a little bit in terms of who's more athletic, obviously, but Evan Fournier can still finish, one of the best finishers at the rim in the NBA, not just at his position, in the NBA. If you look at the way he finished, it's a surprise that he wasn't exposed more. As well as he also had a plethora of times when he should have been fouled and got the and one, but didn't get it. And that's a topic for another time. But the important thing is we gave away Oladipo, who a lot of people said was a foundation for our team. He was good, and he is always going to be a solid player or a second or third option, but not for us. So we did the right move by trading him. His contract was still pretty low, and we also gave away Ersan Ilyasova, which is a non-factor. Let's just be honest, non-factor. His contract was going to expire. Not really a big deal. We shouldn't be even talking about that. And then we give away the 11th pick, which was Sabonis. For anybody who's been following Orlando for a while, you guys pretty much knew that pick was going to get traded. We have no business picking up another rookie. In the last 4 years, we have picked up so many rookies. Half of our team are basically rookies in terms of where they've come from. We haven't picked up players with any, real skill sets. I think it was a refreshing thing to see Tobias Harris go for Brandon Jennings, because Brandon Jennings is a veteran in the NBA. He knows where his place is, and he was gonna help us actually, do something. And so we lost a ball stopper in that, and I'm not trying to get into all that stuff. But the important thing here is that we gave away a lottery pick, which we knew was going to go away because we didn't need any rookie talents. We don't need that. That is not going to help the Orlando Magic grow. And yes, you can get somebody who's going to help immediately grow and immediately help the team and add whatever, but that's not what we're looking for here. I knew that I predicted we were going to trade the pick. I also predicted that Oladipo would have been traded. Now, here's the thing. I didn't know that he was going to be traded for Ibaka. I do think it is a decent trade. I don't think it's a win for us. I think it's more so a win for Oklahoma City, but not saying that it's bad for us, not saying that we're getting put behind because of it. The only reason I'd say that it is a win for Oklahoma City is because now they have Russell Westbrook and Oladipo, two of the most athletic players in the league at the guard position. So, good luck to other teams trying to defend and on the other end trying to score. I mean, it's not even going to be fair. But we get Ibaka, who's going to help us fill a role. Now, more importantly, I'm not worried about Oladipo leaving because I knew we had guys to replace his position. I'm more worried about Aaron Gordon and his spot in the NBA and his spot on the roster. Now, personally, I think I stand for most Magic fans when I say Aaron Gordon is in a no trade, we're not in a position to give him up because he's so young and, in my opinion, the second most athletic player in the league. With that being said, we should be, catering to growing him. Now, he did make really good strides, and I think that he's ready to play at the 3 spot. He could play small forward. Now, we're going to have a different makeup for our roster than most people would, but if we have Serge Ibaka at the 4, we have serious rim protection, which we haven't had in a while. And that'll allow Vucevic to kind of be a help defender rather than a stand-up straight, let me block everybody. He can run back. He can get to the other end, because we've seen that he's actually able to finish in transition pretty well for a center. So this isn't going to require him to stand all the way at the back. He can actually afford to kind of let Ibaka stand closer. He can defend some other players. He doesn't have to defend the biggest guys because he's not that good defensively in the post, especially against some of the bigger, stronger centers. Now he can play against the other players. He can play against, the 4s or, even some of the other guys that decide to come in the post. And he can kind of play off, whereas Ibaka can take a lot of that defensive load. Also, we can get Ibaka integrated in an offensive system where, unfortunately, Oklahoma City has not done that at all for him, and that's why his numbers were taking a scale down. He's only 26 years old. He's not getting worse. He's on a team with Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant. There is no need for anything else in the league. You can't get a big 3 on that team, and yes, they say that Oladipo can play a big 3 for them. He's going to be a Dion Waiters with better defense, and that's it. They're just going to use him for defense. He's going to get a couple 3s a game, maybe a drive or 2, maybe some steals and finish on the other end. Oladipo's career is seriously going to be hindered by this. Then they're not going to win a championship because of that. He is not a championship factor to bring to them. Nothing is a championship factor. They're already where they need to be. The problem is they can't finish. They cannot finish what they start. And that was why and again, this is a discussion for another video. Kevin Durant's going to leave. He's not staying, and if he does, he's making a big mistake because they can't win. You can't win with Russell Westbrook if you're Kevin Durant. You can win with Russell Westbrook if you're somebody else who doesn't mind playing off the ball and not, being an ISO scorer, but that's a whole different, situation. The important part is that now Orlando Magic has the freedom to play Fournier, who, let me remind you, is and what has been a proven scorer. He has a opportunity to finally get his 20 plus points per game seasons, which we all know he can do. He is, in my opinion, the best scorer on the team. Vucevic is second, although neither of them were getting a lot of touches because we're so focused on trying to make one player a superstar or make one player an all-star. We were so focused on the idea that all these guys are growing. We need to give somebody the ball. We need to give somebody a chance to play. Now we get rid of our, growing player in Oladipo because we got like 5 people growing. And now we replace him with Ibaka, who's already an established player. An established, maybe not star, but a solid defensive and solid, or I think defensively he used to be great. I think he did not want to play in Oklahoma City, so now he's a solid defender. My hope is that this rejuvenates him into being that defender he once was. I'm sorry. And that will allow him he'll be able to get in the shots he needs. With Frank Vogel, he's not going to be taking all the threes. He's not going to be out in the 3-point line defending all the, that's not going to happen. He's going to be placed right back in the middle where he wants to be, and he's going to be able to play at the 4 spot where he should have been playing from the beginning. Also, he's going to get back into his mid-range game, and he's going to be able to finish and get some rebounds and do some things. He's going to be a very good help for us, just defensively most important, but also on the offensive end, it gives us an option to score because Aaron Gordon, like I said, love the guy. He's amazing. His talents, or his potential to have talents, is through the roof. And I think he's ready to play at the 3 spot, which I'm going to get to next. This does look risky because if Aaron Gordon's not ready to play at the 3 spot, if his 3-point shot and his, just playing as a perimeter player isn't where it needs to be, we're looking at a big issue because obviously a lot of his points and a lot of his offensive gameplay was off offensive rebounds and, driving to the basket. Now, it might be pretty clogged. The paint might be pretty clogged with him just rolling in the way he is. And having, both of those solid players at the 4 and 5. So we need to say, because I don't want him to come off the bench. He needs to be loved. He needs to be coveted. Trust me, when you have the second most athletic player in the league, you can't afford to just let him go anywhere. Yes, that athleticism only lasts for a while. I mean, look at Blake Griffin. He's not past his prime or anything, but I would take Aaron Gordon over Blake Griffin now because Aaron Gordon, in my opinion, is a Blake Griffin 2.0. It gives you the opportunity to fix some of the mistakes. I think Aaron Gordon in the next couple of years, is going to be able to develop a solid jump shot. He needs to be quicker. He needs to be able to, have that half-court quickness that a small forward needs. And be able to also pull up from, mid-range, be able to have a little bit more of a shooting game rather than just a one-dimensional offensive game. And obviously, win as a dunk competition. You got robbed last time, but that's neither here nor there. The important thing is right now, we need to see what happens. So with Oladipo gone, we have a 100% spot open for Evan Fournier, who's going to be able to be pretty much our number 1 perimeter scorer. We have Elfrid Payton, who's going to be able to be the primary ball handler now, and that's going to very much open up his ability to pass the ball. And he's going to be able to pass the ball into the paint and pass the ball to players who can really benefit. And unfortunately, Oladipo, the thing about Oladipo is he didn't move without the ball. He was very stagnant. And, he did at times, but what's his name? Elfrid Payton, the way he plays, he needs to play to create, he needs to create offense. Oladipo was an ISO player with a mediocre skill set for scoring. Now he has Evan Fournier, again, one of the best offensive players off the ball in the game. He knows how to cut to the basket. He knows how to get his points. I can't say enough things about Evan Fournier. And he's so young. In the next couple of years, he could be a top scorer in this league. Mark my words, but we need to give him the touches. We need to give him the baskets. He needs to be a solid contributor. Now, Aaron Gordon's, he's not too worried about being an offensive superstar. You don't need to give him the ball 100 possessions a game. Like, he's not going to worry about that, so that's good for us. If he can be quicker on the half-court game and play defense against some of the some of the best threes, he could be a fantastic three-way or small forward defender who's also able to play off ball or play in the paint for defensive purposes. And then on the other end, if he can hit a couple threes, if he can play, we can almost run a 3-man offense in the paint. We could. Now it's gonna be very clogged and it might not work, but he could help us have a much larger front court and be able to really it'd be difficult to be defending Vucevic, Ibaka, and then having him, because obviously he can get to the basket. He's going to be able to grab all the alley-oops in the world, so it's fine. And if he develops a little bit of a shooting game, a little bit of a mid-range and kind of finishing game to the point where he's able to make his own and create his own offense, he's going to be good. He's going to be fantastic. Ibaka, I believe that Ibaka is going to be a solid shooter. He's going to be the kind of guy who can get you out of a situation, but because before, if you were getting into a situation, you pass to Nick Vucevic. If Nick Vucevic is stuck, you can now pass to Ibaka, and Ibaka can take a shot, or vice versa. Both those guys are solid, established shooters. It makes Aaron Gordon, if he's not capable to shoot the ball the way he needs to, he can still play at the 3 and make a solid impact on, in terms of at least defense. We don't need him for anything much. We need him to just play efficient defense and still be able to, give us some highlight plays here and there. That's really it. And then if he can grow into a matured offensive player in terms of scoring, shooting the ball, taking, he needs to move without the ball. That's the most important thing in this offense, is moving without the ball, because Elfrid Payton needs it. Let's just be honest. Elfrid Payton can't shoot. He can barely create offense by himself. But what he can do is pass to the player who's moving without the ball. If Aaron Gordon can be moved to the 3, if Ibaka can, post up down low or get his mid-range shots or even a three-pointer, what we're going to be able to see is a very, very good team if everybody's able to do their job. With that being said, maybe we might pick up a star. I'm still hoping that we're going to be able to pick up a star, but if we don't, it's not a big deal. If we can pick up a star, things may change, but this concludes my video for kind of speaking on the matter of fact and the matter of the importance of this trade and why it wasn't that bad. The people watching, our Magic fans, our OKC fans, all those, we should not be saying, Orlando definitely lost a lot of talent, because realistically we didn't. We gave away some, pretty much in 2K terms, that's just, 2K16, an 80 overall for a 79 overall. We threw some other guys in there. Oladipo's capped out in terms of his potential. He's not going to get much better. He's going to stay consistent, but he's not getting much better. But that concludes my video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys want to hear some more stuff by me, I would be happy to. If you guys have any disagreements, let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to talk about it. And with that being said, stay classy and peace out.